Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed, thanks for subscribing. Hit the like button if you like these videos and I'll definitely do more. Today I decided to do or talk about my experience going to Mac because somehow over the week I stumbled upon these videos on YouTube about horrible experiences at Mac stores or at the Mac counter in, department stores. I didn't know that there were folks out there having bad experiences. Like it's a thing. So I decided to talk about my experience because and how and my experience, but how it also empowered me because I had never been to a Mac counter or store. Well, actually I went to a Mac counter because we don't have a Mac store near where I live. But and I haven't been back. I'd go to Mac again, but probably definitely a whole different counter. But it's been a few years. Maybe those people aren't there anymore because I understand they also have a high turnover, and it's no wonder. But this was a few years ago, and I had never. I didn't grow up wearing a lot of makeup. I mean, when I was a teenager, junior high, I wore makeup just because that's what girls kind of do. But the women in my family didn't wear a lot of makeup, so makeup is definitely not like something that I was really into growing up. And so I never had like a makeover or a beauty day like back in the 80s. I did like a glamour shot thing. I'll put the photo up here somewhere just so you can laugh along with me. If I can find the photo, I'll put it up. But other than that, I have never had like a beauty day makeover type of thing. And so a few years ago, I had to have a couple of surgeries, and one of the surgeries that I had was a breast reduction. And after that, after the healing, I had to, go out and buy a bunch of new bras, obviously. So after I had healed up and everything, my wife and I went to the mall, and she was like, we're going to go to Victoria's Secret. Oh, no, actually, we're going to go to Cacique because I'm a little bigger. So Victoria's Secret's only goes up to one size, certain size. So we'll go to Cacique, get you some pretty bras because anybody knows who's had big boobs in their life, it's hard to find pretty bras. Pretty much, if you can find the size that you are, you take it no matter what it looks like. So she's like, we're going to go get you some pretty bras, get you fitted for a bra, and I'm going to take you to the Mac counter so you can get a makeup and buy some makeup. Because the makeup that I do buy, or did buy mostly, it was drugstore makeup, or it drives her crazy that I buy makeup from the dollar store too, from Dollar Tree. Just drives her insane. So I'd never splurged on anything like that in my life. So she's like, we're going to go to Mac, get you a makeover, get you some new bras, and just kind of do it up, which was very sweet of her because she's kind of like that. So anyway, so we go to, I think we went to the Mac counter first in Macy's, and as soon as, as soon as I walked up to the counter, I knew it was going to be an interesting experience because there was two women there. The one woman, she was a little older, maybe in her early 40s, a little older. I'm in my 40s, but the other woman that was there was much younger. She was in her early 20s. So the older woman saw me and she kind of looked me up and down. Like, she would look both of us up and down, both Dawn and I. And I was like, okay, well, I would like to, have my makeup done. I'd never been to a makeup counter. I didn't know anything about it except for you could possibly get your makeup done. So I was kind of asking, like, that's a thing, right? I can do that. So she was like, uh-huh. And then it was rude. I mean, I've worked retail. She kind of like snapped her fingers at the other girl and told her to come over, like, take care of me. Like, she wasn't going to do it for me. But I'm trying to have a good time, do this whole pampering thing and celebrating my new boobies. So the girl is kind of like hesitant. She kind of looks at me because I didn't have any makeup on. And I guess the feeling that I got was that neither of them thought I was going to buy anything which was rude and ignorant to begin with because you never know. I've known people, millionaires, billionaires, you would never know it to look at them. you know? So you just cannot judge a book by its cover. It's ridiculous to do so. And I was probably, I usually wear skirts and a top, something probably like this, and maybe a little bit of jewelry. Dawn's usually in jeans and a t-shirt and a baseball cap. You have no idea how much money we have or don't have. It's really ridiculous. If you work retail, it's ridiculous to try to judge somebody like that. So I think they had the feeling that we weren't going to buy anything, but they must have I think she told me how much, you have to buy a certain amount to get a makeover. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm going to do it. So she sits me down and I'm like, well, I've never had a makeover. I really don't do a lot with my makeup. At that time, it was a few years ago, I wasn't even wearing foundation, like hardly ever. I would do like a mineral foundation just a little bit. And I said, I've never done any of this. I'm excited. This is makeup. It's beauty. Like, why is it not fun? Why is everybody so grouchy and grumpy and judgmental? It's ridiculous. It's like working in a candy store and having an attitude. It's fun. It's candy. It's makeup. It's not serious. So, but she's kind of like out of attitude. The other one's kind of got like attitude. Like she's looking at us like, exactly what are we doing there? Because neither one of us wore makeup or looked like we ever touched a makeup brush in our life. So she's putting the makeup on, but she did match my skin tone very well, which I've had problems. That's why I've never wore foundation in the past. Matching my skin tone, I've got like a weird skin tone. I don't know. It's weird. People think it's like got pink undertones, but it really has yellow. Don't ask me how people can get it all confused, especially if you're an expert. But anyway, so she does my makeup. And it actually looked good. I didn't want a whole lot of glam going on because I wanted something that I could, replicate. So I said, I usually wear like browns and, tans and, just a little glimmer here and a little, that's about it. So she did my makeup and all that. And then afterwards I was like, well, I'll just, I'm going to buy whatever you put on my face. Because I don't have anything. I don't have makeup brushes. I don't have foundation. I don't have anything. And she kind of looked at us like, are you sure? Well, everything here is very expensive. And I'm like, I know what MAC is. I'm thinking to myself, I know MAC. I mean, I may not know makeup, but I know MAC. I know it's expensive, duh. So, and then the other one, I think she was the manager or something. She was like, well, everything is kind of really expensive. Are you sure I think she wanted to say, are you sure you can afford it? But she was like, are you sure that that's what you want to do? Who in retail, do you not realize that me purchasing there is what pays your salary or your little hourly wage and commission or whatever y'all make? Like, who does that? Are you my accountant or something? Are you paying my bills? Like, why are you asking? That's like something my accountant would ask, or my CPA would ask. Like, are you sure you want to make that purchase? That's their job. Your job, makeup lady, is not to question my financial situation. So and I know that was pissing Dawn off as well, because she just she doesn't go there with that kind of stuff. She does not like people judging the way your financial status based on the way you look. It drives her absolutely crazy. And for me, it's like, whatever, you don't know me, I don't know you. But I could tell that she was getting a little heated up. So I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine. I don't even know what you put on my face. So let's lay it all out and, explain to me again. Let's get down to it. I ended up literally buying everything that she put on my face. I bought the foundation. I bought the concealer. I bought the bronzer. I bought 2 eyeshadows. I bought the mascara. I bought the eyeliner. I bought the powder, 2 powders. And probably 3 or 4 makeup brushes. Anybody who's gone to MAC, that's a few $100s. I mean, that's a few hundred in the upper hundreds. That's a lot of money, So she lays it all out and she's trying to explain it to me. And by this time, the younger one that did my makeup was kind of warming up. She's, maybe she's finally realizing, like, why would I have her do all this? And So the other one is just keeping an eye on everything. But she kept looking me up and down, which I didn't appreciate. Now, I'm already self-conscious because I just had like my boobs, cut all up and everything. I'm just getting that. I've just had surgery. I've got a whole new upper area of my body that I'm not used to. It's not as big as it was. So I'm already a little self-conscious, like just being out in public with like a new body, upper body. And she's, kept looking me up and down, and I'm like, what's up with you, lady? Stop looking me up and down. And she kept looking at Dawn. Maybe she didn't like the gay thing. I don't know what her issue was, because by that time I assumed they could figure it out, because I kept, honey this and sweetie that back and forth, and Dawn was paying for it. So that's a little strange. So as we're checking out, I guess they both were surprised that I was like, yeah, whatever, just tell me how to use it, and we're buying it all. So as we're checking out, the the girl takes the credit card, rings it up, checks the ID and all that. Well, the other woman had to come over and check the ID too. Like, why are you double checking? It was just annoying. And I've seen this on other people's videos. This is why I'm putting it out there, because if you work in retail, I've worked in retail. I own my own business now. My customer service is like so high on my priority list, it's ridiculous. I cannot stand. I will travel further and pay more money for better customer service from any place. I don't care how much I need what you want and how cheap it is, I will go someplace else and pay 3 times as much because your customer service sucks. And I don't understand. I've worked retail. I know how hard it is. I know it can be very stressful and annoying. People get on your nerves. That's why I don't work retail anymore. I understand that. And I also understand that you need a job to pay your bills. So sometimes retail is all you can get. But I'm sure if you don't like retail, working in the makeup counter, you go work another retail job, because it's all about your personality. And men that go there, they want fun. They don't want stress. Makeup shouldn't be stressful. Beauty shouldn't be stressful. It should be fun, light, exciting. Like, why are these people have such attitudes? Like, where does Mac get them? Do they like cookie cutter them out, or is there some kind of pill that they give them? Because I've seen a lot of videos and they all have attitudes. It's like, is that like on the requirement? I don't know. Oh yeah, so she double checks everything. Dawn's getting more of an attitude, but she's trying to, stay low key because she's trying not to mess up my day. And so then we, finally leave, and I'm like, well, do you have a card? Because I like the way she did my makeup. She actually did a very good job. And she was like, oh, well, you can just come, and, if you can get anybody to do your makeup, it's all going to be the same. I'm like, what are you, a robot? It's not all going to be the same. So I was like, well, maybe she doesn't want to do my makeup again. I don't know. So I don't know if they work on commission, but even if they don't, that's still a rude and stupid thing to say. I would assume, and like I said, I don't know, so let me know in the comments, but I would assume at a makeup counter, it's kind of like going to a beauty salon. If you want the same stylist, I don't get it. That whole experience, like I said, I didn't grow up wearing a whole lot of makeup. It wasn't a big deal. I would go through phases in high school where I would wear a lot of makeup and play around with different makeups. I grew up in the 80s, so, we were doing all kinds of crazy stuff with makeup in the 80s. But the whole experience just taught me that no matter how people perceive you, especially when it comes to beauty and when it comes to something that I consider fun and light and interesting and exciting, like makeup, don't let somebody else suck that energy out of you. A lot of women have grown up hearing that they're not as beautiful as so and so, or if they did this, they'd be more beautiful. If you were thinner, you'd be so much cuter, or you got a cute face for a fat girl. One of those types of things. Or you're really pretty for a black girl, one of those things. Or if you're not this enough, you're not smart enough, if you were as smart as this person, you could do a lot better. Or all these expectations and demands and comparisons. And I felt like at the Mac counter I was being compared to somebody else that wasn't there, or their expectation of what their ideal customer is. I haven't been back to Mac. I like Mac products, but I'm going to go back to a different Mac counter or Mac store, or I may actually go back to that Mac counter and see if those people there, I will know their faces, believe you me. It's been a few years, but I will know their faces, and see how their energy is, you know. I have a feeling that those people aren't there anymore because it has been a few years, and like I said, high turnover. But I've been past, I've walked through, you know, you go to Macy's or wherever, and there's a bunch of different makeup counters. And I felt different vibes from different makeup counters. And the Mac counter always has an attitude count about them, but there's other, you know, there's laughing and oh hey, and you know, that those are the people I'm going to patronize. So unless Mac can get their self together, I don't think I'll be buying a lot of their products. I'd give it a try one more time because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. This makeup journey at this stage in my life is new. I'm doing this whole glam in 2016 thing. I'm doing this whole body adornment and kind of focusing on myself and just what makes me happy and feel good and do something different in my life. And so this whole makeup journey that I'm on, I'm not an expert, you know. This is nowhere near an expert. I don't need to be an expert. I just want to play around with makeup because I've never given myself the permission to. I think that's the point. I never given myself permission in my life to play around with makeup and play around with beauty and what my take on beauty is, and it's all a personal thing. It's not an outward thing that I'm drawing in somebody else's beauty standards. It's my beauty standards being compiled and taken into myself and exploring that and understanding that. So I think there are a lot of women that are on this journey, especially in the different stages of their life, and especially in later stages of their life. Not like I'm old, but I am 46. And this is a weird stage in your life to be all of a sudden thinking about and just having reflecting on your beauty and what that means to you. So when I was watching these Mac videos, horrible Mac experience videos, I was thinking back to that experience, and a lot of the women, were very upset and that had these experiences, and I had to think that, that experience that I had only empowered me. It only made me, any kind of bad experience that you have is a learning experience. And sometimes you just learn what not to do. You learn the type of person that you do not want to be. Somebody else's attitude or somebody else's expectation of me is not going to stop me. So I think that just watching a lot of these videos just kind of brought that back into my memory, and I wanted to share it. So nothing against Mac products, because I like their products. They got a little work to do with their customer service, apparently, because I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that have had bad experiences, but I don't know if they're trying to fix it or not. Maybe they don't care because they're Mac and they can pretty much, know that people, most of the videos that I watched, people had bad experiences and multiple bad experiences, and they just said, I'm not going to in-person Mac experience anymore. I'm going to order online. So Mac isn't really losing out. I just wanted to share that experience, and hopefully it helps somebody else who's had another woman who's had a bad experience at any makeup counter or any makeup store, or just in general wanting to explore that side of themselves and feeling that they can't because somebody's telling them it's stupid or it's silly, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. Nothing that you do for yourself that empowers you is a waste of time or a waste of money. So thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see y'all next time.